How was the conversation when I assume your parents like setting you down, okay, children, we're gonna go to Taiwan, pack your bags?
Well, it was actually a lot more dramatic than that.
Oh, for real? I thought I just wanted to be like, I wanted to just like play on even more dramatic. Hi everyone and welcome back to another video and a special welcome to a first time guest here in the studio and here on the channel, Myrte from the Netherlands.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm currently studying in Taiwan. I'm studying diplomacy and international relations all the way up in Danshui, so the most northern part of Taiwan. Came here because my father found a job here and we decided to move here with the whole family.
Did you have a choice to come here or was it just like, we're moving to Taiwan?
I did have a choice in the matter, but I went to Japan when I was 10 years old and I kind of left my heart in Asia. And I always had the dream of going to a foreign country and to live there for a while. So it was a really, really great opportunity, hard to pass on. So we just went for it.
Why were you in Japan when you were 10?
I used to play clarinet. So I went with an orchestra to give some concerts over there. So I traveled with just me and some other kids and the orchestra.
How does it feel to like move from Netherlands to Taiwan with your family? Because there's a little bit of, you know, like the reason for most of the excitement is like that might be like the first time you're away from your family. And I mean, may not be speaking about my own experience here, or maybe I am, but it's very freeing knowing that your parents won't know what you're up to. And they don't know if you're like, you know, doing your homework or if you're out on a night market until like 2, 3 a.m. But how does it feel to be here with your family?
It's awesome. Yeah, we all have the same feeling for adventure and we all share that with each other. So I think moving to Taiwan has definitely made us a closer family. We're all very dynamic, so if anything happens, we're always on the move, on the go. We move fast, and we've really found, everyone has found their role in the family more than in the Netherlands, and everyone is very excited to be here. And we can share all these first experiences with each other, and it's just, you know, I hang out with my siblings and my parents all the time because it's just really fun. And yeah, we all have a really good relationship, and moving together, doing something adventurous, it really brought us closer together. That's
awesome. And you mentioned you share all these experiences with each other, but I actually forgot to mention that you're a YouTuber as well. And of course, you're also sharing this with, you know, the rest of Taiwan, the rest of the world. And I think it's super cool, you know, because every time I go back home to Sweden, I do bring like as much snacks as I possibly can to let my mom try as well. And it's like, you know, this is part of my life now in Taiwan. But you are also experiencing it like the first time with your mom. It's like your mom is here with you every single day of your Taiwan life.
When we first got here, this was like 3 years ago, my mother and I and my brother and I, we were trying some Taiwanese snacks and everything together. And back then everything was still weird. So we tried some like weird snacks that we weren't really sure what it was.
You said that things were still weird back then. So you feel like there's nothing weird now?
Well, I mean, things are not really weird anymore, but they're interesting. And I feel like when you're moving abroad, if you have a very open mind, things are interesting and they're not necessarily bad. But if you're always like, oh, things are weird, then it's very hard to accept the country you're living in. So we always look at things like, oh, they're interesting. Oh, how does this work? How does this taste? Okay, I wonder why people like this. And sometimes there are things you taste or see that you don't like at all. There are also things that are really good.
Just like this stainless steel washing machine from ASKO, which is also the sponsor of today's video. By now I hope you already know that I'm completely in love with this washing machine from ASKO and that this washing machine have tons of different programs for all kinds of laundry. But something that you may not be aware of yet is that this machine is completely full of both smart and simple and, do I dare to say, Swedish design solutions, which makes this machine both stand out and completely blend in here in our Swedish apartment in Taiwan. For example, it has a super slim glass door to maximize the internal space without sacrificing on the design. The door ring itself is also super slim, but also made of stainless steel, just like the rest of the inner and outer drums, to prevent mold and bacteria building up, which is very easily done if your machine has these rubber rings where old water might be stored for days in between different washes. The stainless steel drum is also super solid compared to other basic plastic drums that you might find in other machines, which also allows this machine to wash using up to 90 degrees hot water. And speaking about stable and solid quality, this machine also comes with a solid 4-legged hydraulic shock absorber system, which means that it runs super smooth and stable even during the highest speed centrifuges. And if you do want some more information regarding this machine, as always you do have a link down in the description, but you can also keep your eyes open next time you visit a department store here in Taiwan. First of all, since they do have these showrooms all over Taiwan, but I've also heard that they have a special anniversary sale coming up as well. And speaking about amazing things coming up very soon, I think it's time for us to continue with the rest of this video.
What was like the most challenging to like settle down in Taiwan?
I guess the language is a really big difference, but I'm a bit of a language nerd. I love learning languages. So I dove in and started learning Chinese before I got here. So that was one of the challenges I kind of resolved pretty quickly. I guess the food is one thing too. There are certain smells and tastes that I really did not like in the beginning, like the more traditional foods.
I came to Taiwan, I think, when I was 22. So like you're younger than me my first day in Taiwan.
Yeah.
But you've already like done so many things that I have not done, although I've been here like 13 years. For example, I saw one of your YouTube videos. You got a surgery.
Yes.
In Taiwan.
I did, and actually that happened pretty quickly after we moved here. So we moved here in July 2020, and then I had surgery, I think, in September. So I wasn't here for even half a year. My Chinese was still pretty crappy. But yeah, no, I needed a surgery on my foot because I had surgery in the Netherlands before, but it caused another issue. Got it checked out in the Netherlands, and they said, it's not bad enough yet. We can't operate. We can't do anything about it. It just needs to get worse. So yeah, I was
Dutch healthcare, if everyone was wondering.
I was not thrilled about that. But yeah, I figured, I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna do some Googling. Maybe there's someone in Taiwan that knows about it. And then I found a research paper online from someone who was specialized in this. So I Googled and saw that he works at Tri-Service General Hospital in Nehun. Went to the doctor. He spoke English. The nurses, they mostly speak Chinese, but there was a nurse that spoke English really well, and, he helped out a lot. And my mother was there, but it was during COVID time, so she couldn't leave the hospital. So we were stuck in the hospital for like 3 or 4 days. Only the 7-Eleven was open, because back then the supermarket and everything that's in the hospital were closed as well. So it was just 7-Eleven, and that's it. So yeah, it was pretty intense.
Wow. Knock on wood. That's something I have not had to do myself. But something that's even scarier, I would say, is that you have a car driving license.
Yeah, I do.
without having one from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Because you moved here before you were 18.
Yes. So I took driving lessons in Taiwan. And when you do that in Taiwan, it's actually it's terrifying. You go to the office and the course and everything, and you sign up, and then you have to practice the online written exam at home by yourself, and then you are taught to drive on the course. So they're teaching you to do reverse parking, parallel parking, everything. You have to do some sort of S-turn and do it backwards
backing out,
too.
yeah.
It's all fine because there's all these little flags up everywhere, so you know exactly how to turn. And in that car, the same car that you drive for a month, with the little flags, you know exactly how you can park. You can park perfectly. I drove a manual car because I can change it to a Dutch license.
Sweden doesn't have that,
Yeah.
So I have to get both.
Yeah,
which is,
the Netherlands does.
not
so
nice.
Lucky me. When you're actually going on the road, scrape the car quite a few times.
Your own car or someone else's car?
My parents' car.
Oh, your parents. Your parents' car.
They were not too mad. They did say at one point, Mirti, you really got to stop doing this now. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay for it next time.
Previously, I had an interview with the Dutch office here in Taiwan. So I do like to think that I have some knowledge about the Netherlands in general.
I actually watched that video and it seemed like you were doing pretty fine.
Thank you. But I wanted to double check here then. Like, are you only like riding a bicycle in Netherlands? Or how would you like commute?
People have cars, but the bicycle is the scooter of the Netherlands.
Oh.
So you know, you go to work, it's half an hour away. By bicycle, you bike. It's raining, you still bike. I used to go to a high school bicycle ride would be an hour, and I would do that every day to school and back from school. Except for in winter times when it was like snowing and freezing, then I wouldn't, and I would take the train. But otherwise, summer, spring, I would always be biking to school. Wow. So yeah, it's the most common way of commuting, especially in a city. Everyone's on bicycles. And
I assume that you also eat the hagelslag every day. Yeah, okay.
Not every day, because I don't really eat it in Taiwan, but my aunt and uncle are here now, so they just brought some back. I actually ate it today.
So it is a thing that you are bringing like overseas.
When I went back a year ago for the first time in 2 years, there were certain things in the Netherlands that I thought were too sweet or I didn't like anymore.
That is very Taiwanese indeed.
Yeah, so I was eating some cookies that I used to love, and I was like, oh, this is so sweet. I can't even finish this one.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm scared going back home now, because this is like, you know, the first thing you hear Taiwanese saying, you know, like I bring like Swedish snacks and candy, and they will be like, oh, no, it's too sweet. I don't like it. Whereas in Sweden, it's like the sweeter, the better, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like be as much sugar as you can possibly like cram into like 100 grams of chocolate.
It's like 90% sugar and 10% chocolate.
Amazing. What's your favorite Taiwanese food then here? How does your new Taiwanese diet look like?
Everyone always asks me this question and I never know how to answer it because I like food a lot and I like a lot of food. So there's nothing I don't like and there's nothing that I like a lot more than other things. I mean, everything's good, really. I really like da chang bao xiaojiang though. The rice sausage with the Taiwanese sausage and a lot of garlic. That's definitely a really good snack that I enjoy all the time.
And now you are in the middle of university studies?
Yeah, 3 more years.
Yep.
I think there is a possibility for me to do an exchange too. I think it's in the 3rd year. I'm not sure if I'm eligible to because I'm an international student, but I think because I'm not on a scholarship, I am. So I might do something abroad, but yeah. What's
next after those 3 years? Like, will your family still be here, or like, are they leaving and like you're stuck here in your university studies, or like, how does that whole situation look like?
So I think my family will probably be here longer than I will be. Who knows where I'll end up, and who knows where they'll end up? We never know for sure. They'll probably be here at least 3 more years. Because my father is working on a project right now, so he has to finish the project, and then my sister can finish high school, and my other brother, he's in university as well, and then my little brother can just enjoy his time here and get an APRC.
How was the conversation when I assume your parents like setting you down, okay, children, we're gonna go to Taiwan, pack your bags?
Well, it was actually a lot more dramatic than that.
Oh, for real? I thought I just wanted to be like, I wanted to just like play on even more dramatic.
Yeah, that sounds very dramatic, right? So actually it happened. My father got a phone call while we were at a wedding. And at that time, it was like 3 years before we moved. And I had a boyfriend at the time that, you know, when you're 14 and you have a boyfriend, you're over the moon. Mm-hmm. So my father got a call while we were at a wedding. And it was during the church service of the wedding.
Like in the church?
Like in the church. So he got a phone call and it was his work. So he had to pick it up because I think he wasn't really off that day or something. So he had to take the phone call. So he walked out and he came back and we're all sitting there in the road, right? And my mother was asking him like, oh yeah, what was it about? And he said, well, something about Taiwan. Like they're asking me to move. And he told that to my mother. But all of us 4 kids, like we're sitting there, we're listening in on the conversation. And I'm like seeing these people getting married, and we all here. They want me to move to Taiwan, and we're like, oh no, what's going on? So we get out of the service and we're like, what's going on? Like, what are you talking about?
No one cares about the bride and groom.
Nah, it's like, what's going on? We're so confused. So yeah, and then we started preparing and we had our stuff packed up and we were selling our house. Our house sold really quickly within like 3 weeks because it was a good time on the market. We spent 6 weeks in a chalet at a campsite. And then everyone came over to say goodbye, and then
you spent 6 weeks chilling in a campsite?
No, like in a chalet, like in one of the cabins, in a small cabin, because we already sold our house, and we were just like waiting to go to Taiwan.
Okay.
But we were chilling, yeah.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I graduated, my brother graduated, but it was COVID, so like we had a drive-through graduation ceremony kind of thing. And we didn't
drive-through graduation ceremony,
it was
like with a car.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun. So the person that graduated had to get out and sign the paper, get the diploma, walk past all the teachers, and then get back in the car because the car could drive around with the people that you wanted to be present at your graduation, and they could like see you walk there, and that's how we did it.
Okay.
It was very creative. And then we were stuck in quarantine in a house without furniture. So we just like kind of lived out of our suitcases until we were allowed to get out of quarantine and we could go to IKEA to get our stuff.
Yeah. Okay, that was a lot more dramatic than I ever expected it to be.
It's been a wild ride.
Is there anything that you have wanted to make a video about, a place you've wanted to visit that you haven't yet? Or what can we see in the future on your YouTube channel?
So actually, since my aunt and uncle have been here, we've been exploring a lot of places, and I've recorded every single day that we went to explore. So
amazing. True YouTuber right here.
Yeah,
That's
so I got all the footage now, and I'm editing videos whenever I have the time now. So every evening I'm on my computer editing, and getting things done. So there's a lot coming. We went dolphin watching in Elan as well.
Oh, wow.
That's gonna be the first video that uploads to my channel.
Nice.
It's very nice.
So if you want to see some dolphins and some Dutch adventures here in Taiwan.
And an exclusive interview with the captain of the boat.
And an exclusive interview with the captain of the boat. Please do, of course, head over and subscribe, follow, and also share her channel so the entire Taiwan can actually get to explore her life here in Taiwan as well. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lukas. It starts with L as in like, ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both, and see you all in the next one.